did like a weird kind of. I never thought what we did before was great. I'm not sure what to do there yet. Then it goes away.
So what are we doing at the top?
Then the verse is a weird, different feel.
I'll play to you.
Huh?
I'll play to you. Yeah, that verse.
She's smooth as a gravel on a roadside creek bank, sweet as a flower on a knotty pine cascade.
Well, my name's Angaleena Presley. I'm from Beauty, Kentucky, and that's a little teeny tiny coal town in eastern Kentucky. Overall concept behind the record is sort of exactly, where I came from. It's about, hard work and poverty and blessings and just everything that comes along with, that middle class just struggle to get by, and you count every single blessing because you appreciate it, because you know what hard times are like. And it sort of just paints a picture about that lifestyle. And this is a really personal record to me. I feel like I've lived every second, every note, every word that's on this record. I mean, I feel like it's my story.
Only thing I ever really took in vain was a Sunday drive in the restful rain. Honored Mama's words and Daddy's hands. Never hurt anybody, never wore a wedding band. Might have stole a kiss, but I never told a lie. And all I ever wanted was a real good time.
So when it came time to make this record, I considered a few producers, and I love the producers we had with Pistolantes, and I just really knew that I wanted to do it. I knew that I heard what it sounded like in my head. I knew that I knew I had the chops, but it took me a while to just muster up the courage, because I mean, I don't know any other girls that produced their record. So I went to my husband slash manager slash everything, and I said, honey, why don't we just produce this record? And he was like, well, okay, I'll book some players.
Tear this poorhouse down when you know how to build it back. Hammer and nail.
We had Mr. Keith Gaddis on guitar, who just is my favorite guitar player of all time. We had Fred Eltringham on drums, who is the best drummer in the whole wide world. Mr. Glenn Worf, legendary Glenn Worf on bass, who, is an amazing producer in his own right. We had Mr. Aiden Bubeck, who is not only the biggest sweet potato that I know, but he's also an amazing bass player. John Henry Trinko on keys. He did a B3 part that I thought was going to make me faint out, like how when girls faint when they see Elvis. We had Josh Grange on steel guitar, and I mean, I just think it's a sin to make a country music record without a steel guitar. And he played some wonderful classic country parts. On guitar, we had Audley Freed, who is, like him and Gaddis together are like these Bobbsey twin rock star jukebox heroes. I don't even know how to describe that either.
So I stood behind a little downtown bar for spending money, books, and gas. To be a certified member of the work too much American middle class.
So I think maybe the glue of this record is a song called American Middle Class. and it's a song I wrote by myself after a weekend where I had just gotten my, fancy board, and I was going home for the weekend, and I decided to take it with me. And I took my fancy mic and my fancy everything, and I set it up at our kitchen table and kind of wrote some questions out for my dad, and just put them in front of him. I said, "Here, just talk, Daddy." So my dad told all these stories, and I listened to it a few times, and then I wrote this song, American Middle Class, and it's just sort of the story of my life. I mean, I'm a modern day coal miner's daughter, and growing up, we weren't poor, but we weren't comfortable either. We were somewhere in the middle.
You run a whole lot of coal, and they give you a little knife or a belt buckle or something like that. They make thousands and thousands of dollars. The coal miners, if they're at work, runs the coal, just makes enough to get by. It ain't no life, really.